Welcome to this week's episode of Project Sullivan.
My name's Gilbert.
And I'm Gogo.
And today we're going to put a T connector on a wiring harness so that we can hook up trailer lights.
T wiring light.
In this episode, we're going to cover
wiring your trailer lights and how frustrated Gogo can get.
We're also going to cover whether you need a T connector and why somebody would have to put a T connector in their wiring harness for trailer lights.
We call it a pin connector, but many others might call it a pole connector.
We're going to go over why we chose a 4-pin connector as opposed to a 5-pin or 6 or any other.
If you guys like this episode and like to see more, please hit the subscribe button and tell us what you think down in the comments.
This and much more on this week's episode of Project Sullivan. This trailer hitch will fit any year model between 2012 and 2018. Tell you one thing, they don't spare any expense on the cardboard. Oh, turns out it's like a Lay's potato package. All air for the first time ever being filmed, me using it for what it's intended for. We don't need instructions. We'll figure it out. You don't need to know the size. I got the universal drill bit. You know, I'm having one problem trying to figure out how to do this. We don't need instructions. We'll figure it out. We don't need instructions. We'll figure it out. Because we're here to make the mistake so you don't have to. Use our little patented technique. Yeah, but you know, I just like to leave it in the way. That's how you know you got a drill, you know. That's how you put your Kurt hitch on your 2014 Ford Focus. So Gogo, what are we doing today?
Sleeping.
No. What do you think we're doing today?
Putting on a hitch.
No, we already put the hitch on yesterday.
I was not here for that one, if you can't tell.
We need to hook up trailer wiring.
Fantastic.
You come over here, I'll walk you through what I'm thinking. Get our wiring kit. Why do we gotta use that trailer light kit? If your brake light and your turn signal are on the same bulb, you don't need to worry about using the 5-pin to 4-pin conversion. If your brake light and your turn signal are on separate bulbs, that's when you need a 5-pin to a 4-pin conversion. We're going 4-pin because you don't have to worry about power brakes on a vehicle this size or power accessories. So your 6 pins or more aren't necessary. So we're going to stick with a little 4-pin because most trailers are already a 4-pin. Trailers typically aren't 5-pin because then they have to run a separate light for the turn signals that's separate from the brake light. I'm disconnecting the wiring harness from the frame and removing the tape. This exposes the wire for me to get the turn signal. Or Gogo.
What?
Go turn on the left turn signal.
You probably gotta turn the key
The
on.
key's got to be in the on position.
Okay.
Don't try to start it, it's a standard.
Well, it won't start anyway unless you got the clutch in.
Don't tell him that.
You've already told me that, Dad.
You didn't turn the key on. Hey, that light don't work.
It's not going to.
Oh, did you disconnect it?
Yeah. Okay, so this is left turn signal. So let's find left turn signal. Yep.
Oh.
So what I'm doing here is I have to figure out which wire is which wire so I can connect them. Right now I'm working on left turn signal. And I happen to have a handy dandy nifty little tool from forever ago. Hopefully I remember to put a link below for all the products we used in this week's episode of Project Sullivan. If you've been watching this long, you might as well subscribe. And all it does is it plugs into the lights. It even still works, which I don't know if it does. So if I turn on the left turn signal right now, is the key on?
No.
My little light should be flashing.
Nope.
Maybe I gotta have the brake light on first. Oh, you know what? I know what it is.
The ground.
Hey kids, do you see what's wrong here? There we go, you see it blinking? Now we're gonna do the brake light. Turn the key back on and press the brake light.
And oddly, they were all wrong. Actually, no, one was a caddy.
You know which one's the brake?
Yeah.
Nope, that's not it. There it is. Found it.
Let go. Hit it again. Alright, so the best thing to do in this situation that I'm working on right now, Gogo,
What's that?
we just do one wire at a time. So we did the turn signal. Now we're going to do the brake light. The brake light's red on this setup.
I'm joking.
No, that's yellow. Green is go and yellow is go faster and red is stop.
We plan to connect our trailer light pigtail to the other side of the wiring harness. So if you ever have to take out the tail light assembly, all the wiring and everything can just be disconnected without having to disconnect any of this. Remember, it's like all wire. Don't get frustrated if you don't get it the first time. Take a breath, try again. It's not something you're gonna get the first time or the third time, sometimes the 10th time. I think right here Ford should have put their logo the other way, you know, for those in the trunk looking at it. That's poor taste, Ford, poor taste. Brake lights are good. Okay, if you notice over here, Gogo, I have the test light hooked up to ground up there. So now you grab your test light, right? And then inside that knob right there, there's 4 prongs. You gotta figure out which one's got power. That's it. Now on the back side, you gotta disconnect that single wire. Alright, now you're gonna use the cutters and cut whichever wire it is that you need to, that's there. Make sure it's not the right one.
Why are there 4 coming out?
There's 4 coming out. One's the turn signal, one's the brake light, one's the ground, and the other one's the one you need. Separate it from the rest so you don't accidentally cut the other ones.
Okay.
Make sure you get enough space to where you can fix it later. That's why it's down the list a little bit.
Okay. Cut it?
Yep. Now, use these red ones. How did it not cut? Now use these red strippers, and it's the very last one. Strip both sides. Both sides are stripped. Connect anyway. This one and one more.
Okay. Door stripped.
Okay, now you gotta figure out which wire you need to connect to that. It'll say it on the back of the box. What options does it give you?
Right turn, brake, left turn, tail light. Tail light.
Which one do you think it is?
tail and brake are connected.
Turn signal, the left turn and brake are right there. See how there's two wires going into one connector? You just spin it together. Which one did you cut? And then wind that one with that other wire, the brown wire. Just wind them together and put that on top. Now spin that together with your brown wire. Now put your little end on there that you probably lost. You see on the fire right there, Gogo? It's got a little blue dot. Let me show the camera real quick. See the blue dot? Since that's a blue connector, you use that blue dot part to crimp them, and you gotta tighten it as tight as possible here on the blue plastic. Now to test it, hold the wires with one hand, hold the tip with the other, and try to pull it off. If it pulls off, you did it wrong. Okay. Now you gotta use that other clip to connect the other side. Now that one's gonna be thinner. That wire is a lot littler, so you need to fold it over on itself. That way it makes it thick enough for that to actually hold on. You gotta make sure that wire gets in that little, that's what you're crimping down when you crimp it. So you gotta get it in that ring. Make sure it's right, don't let it slip. It won't work if it's not right. Once you get used to this, it's not that big a deal. Getting frustrated is not gonna help you. Okay.
But it's so long. It's just getting really frustrating. Nothing does what I want it to do.
It is frustrating. You can do it. I know you can. Because I was just doing it. Once you get that half in, there's only one more light to hook up after that. Everything else is already done. It's going to be on this side. Now I'm just going to run this wire under this plastic piece right here, Gogo.
Okay.
Because we got to go all the way to the other. Oh, can I run it?
You might have to go through the top, huh? That wire I don't think is long enough. No, but I mean the green wire. Can't you just run it across through the top?
I didn't want to. I wanted to run it in the plastic. That way it was all hidden. You don't have to worry about it getting...
Well, isn't there like where you can weave it in the top where it won't catch nothing?
Well, that's what I was going to do by putting it in the plastic. That way it sat right here. Okay, where's that test light? You ready to do this other one, Gogo?
Sure.
It should be the one blinking on the light.
None of them.
It might be our ground.
Did you really find it?
I just googled the ground until one of them worked. See, I can run them too.
What did you find?
Oh, just a fork or something.
Okay, turn it back on. Now press the brake.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, right turn signal. Left turn signal. Now do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. We've already made all the mistakes, so you don't have to. If you've been watching this long, you might as well subscribe.
And later on, we came back and shrank all the tooth connections.
Roll that beautiful shrink tape footage. As long as we remember, we're going to put all the links below for everything that we used in this episode.
He can't remember my birthday half the time.
If you guys like this episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, or even Twitter, Project Sullivan.
Go ahead and check out our last video where we put a trailer hitch on this 2014 Ford. That's somewhere here, down there.
Tune in next week for Project Sullivan.